Hello you guys, namaste and blessings. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nela Ma'at, and today we're going to be channeling messages from our beloved ancestors and Mother Earth. Today is January 28, 2026, and we are moving through a huge transitioning and into February, right? So there's a lot to be grateful for. No, I don't like that neither. Okay, and I want my earrings to show. No. Hello, you guys. Namaste. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Nela Ma'at, and today we're going to be channeling messages from our beloved ancestors and Mother Earth. Before we start this reading, I would like to ask you to take a minute to get clear here in your intentions, or to take a moment, sorry. Okay, never mind. Once again, I'm going to use this. Namaste and blessings. What's going on, beautiful souls? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nela Ma'at, and today we're going to be channeling messages from our beloved ancestors. Okay, these messages are timeless. However, today is January the 28th, 2026. Just to put that out there. Remember, time is not linear, and when we're talking about channeling, nothing is fixed. Okay, so I want you to just be open to the messages. All right, well, I'm taking a deep breath in, consciously opening the channels to receiving information. Okay, so very strong presence. Feels like a very fiery energy. Lots of masculine energy. That's what I'm feeling. So I'm being shown the card of the Chariot, and the card of the Chariot speaks of movement forward, taking action from a place to where we're centered. The waters are clear, the mind is conscious. Okay, black horse, white horse. There's a sense of integration of light and shadow. I have awareness. I know where I'm staying. I know where I'm at. So this is it's a very intentional energy. This is what it feels like. Okay, so message. There's a message of this is a time of transitioning, and it is important to take conscious action. So being assertive, they're showing me a symbol of Aries. So being assertive, keeping our emotions checked, staying grounded, staying open to what is required to navigate times of discomfort, time to where some people might be feeling triggered when it comes to the uncertainty, the unknown. Okay, it's important to move with caution. And now when we're using the word caution, this is not about fear, but this is about discernment. Okay, so it is important to, before doing things, right, to pause, reevaluate, realign, or align, be clear, and take action. Okay, there are positive changes happening. All is happening all at once. Okay, for some of you, you have closed a 9-year period of going through it, like 9 year. I'm hearing the word like feeling tormented kind of period. Okay, so okay, cool. So we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna go with it. So let's see. Choices and decisions. I'm hearing, you know, some of you are going through a period of time to where you have to ask yourself important questions, right? So you're being called to be very introspective. Okay, We don't want to jump in into decisions. We want to decide, align. So prayer, meditation, okay, is important. We want to listen to our heart, and that's the Chariot, right? Love's the heart. For some of you, your intuition is very I'm hearing very, very profound right now. Okay, let's see. So the lovers, Gemini, choices and decisions. Okay, this is the energy of reciprocity. This is the energy of partnerships. This is the energy of reconciliations, engagements, divine union within. Okay, we want to pay attention though to any energy of to where we can feel disharmony. We want to pay attention to where in our relationships are we out of alignment. Is there reciprocity, or am I trying to force something? What is my heart saying? What is my heart? If I am in a relationship, what is the truth behind this relationship? Is this relationship supporting my growth? Because I'm seeing Jupiter. Are the relationships and partnerships in my life, the people I surround myself with, supporting my growth, right? And now one can say, well, even though we can be around people who reflect our shadow, and is their purpose? Well, yes. However, it comes a stage in our journey to where we have to use the caution, right? That's to where the discernment needs to kick in. And when we become aware of the situation, when we see things clearly, right? So things are no longer hidden, right? If I can look around and see the reflections of my shadows being very loud, and if I see that the consequences of being around certain people, it's just not, it's just triggering me or affecting me, right, in some kind of way to where I'm not moving forward. So it's important to pay attention to the battling, and then you are crossroads in that moment. You are being called to what? To make choices and decisions. And now I'm hearing cause and effect. All right, so that's intense. I feel it all over me. And so there's like I said, there's an energy here to where we have to be introspective. We want to be very clear in our choices, our decisions. We want to observe and witness our own relationship with ourselves, but also our relationship with others. Are the people in my life really inspiring me into being a better person? Am I coming into union or partnership with people to where there's a desire for reciprocity, right? If I am open to something, for example, friendship, is the person also desiring to experience friendship, right? If it's romantic, is there reciprocity there? So this is really about becoming more conscious and aware. And there needs to be growth related to relationships, and we want to put things into perspective. Once again, this is not about judging people as bad, or I'm good, or I'm higher vibration, they're lower vibration, that kind of shit. I don't go with that. I'm really saying, can you have the awareness to practice discernment and to be very just in your judgment? Because like I said, like, nobody make you do anything, right? At the end of the day, this energy is saying accountability, then spiritual understanding. And so we want to be very clear when it comes to when we're judging, right? Because we also want to understand that everything in life serves a purpose, and we want to integrate lights and shadow. However, at one point, like I said, you have to be able to make a conscious choice. You have to be discerning. Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, well, here's the hangman, and I was seeing the hangman, so we have this energy of the hangman, right? To where, yeah, there's no longer space for victimization, or I have to stay here in this relationship even though I'm going through abuse and my children are seeing how there's lots of disharmony, and I keep justifying the why I'm staying. But deep within me, I know that there's misalignment of values, that there is discontent, that things are no longer healthy for anyone involved. So there's a lot of we have to face the consequences of our actions moving forward. Moving forward is in, and when I'm saying that moving forward, they're speaking about how right now it's going to be very highlighted, like the outcomes. There's going to be a lot of you reaping what you sow. You know what I mean? There's a lot right now to where we're being called to upgrade, to elevate, to evolve. So there's a need for accountability and responsibility, right? If you are in a situation to where you know you're not growing, to where you know that you're the one having a spiritual awakening, but your partner is not, and there's like you trying to move forward and do all of the changes, but the person that you are with is not even interested, like what are you doing? What is the lesson? What are you being called to do? Right? So we have to reevaluate what is love, what it means to love someone. Can we understand, that sometimes there are karmic cycles that we have to pay, right? And when I say pay, let's not take it to like, it is my fault, I'm being punished, but it is about spiritual lessons. This is about spiritual understanding, right? Healing family dynamics and behaviors. And so Spirit is saying, it's time to become very clear about the why, what is their truth. Find that place of deep integrity. Only then when we go there, we can change and shift our lives. If not, nothing is going to change. Things might shift a little bit, but then they're showing me the wheel of fortune. The wheel is not going to move. And so, okay, whoa, this is like a lot of energy. So we have the Ace of Wands here. So this is all this fire, right? This is the fire. This is a spirit coming in. It wants to move forward. It wants to bring clarity. It wants you to awaken, to be open to receive a new way of existing, to where you don't have to be in victimization and martyrdom, right? So there's an offering here for a new beginning. However, it's up to us to put the efforts and to put the sacrifices. Yes, because sometimes the sacrifices, right? If in this case we're talking about being in a relationship that is no bueno for you, you're gonna have to sacrifice that, right? So there's a lot of there needs to be an elevation when it comes to relationship. You have to decide what is it that you truly desire, right? And the Ace of Wands, it feels like a spirit is saying, there are infinite possibilities there. However, you're going to have to put the work. You're going to have to shift your perception and your perspective, right? Okay. We have the Page of Wands. So this is, some of you are definitely acting immature when it comes to relationships. There might be fear of friendship. You might be afraid of intimacy. There might be some actual blockages, codependency. For some other of you, this is about meeting someone new, and then you being asked to shift your perception and your perspective once again into transition into a new way of relating to relationships. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. So there is, for some of you, like I said, the opportunity to reconcile. For some of you, that's what I'm hearing. Some of you can reconcile. However, you're going to have to be very clear in your communication and look at the imbalances, and then have those important conversations. For some of you, there's someone new entering into your life. And once again, right, this is slow and steady. You're being called to practice vulnerability, to be open to communication, to communicate. Okay, there is the merging and a desire to offer. There is attraction. There is romantic feelings. For some other of you, this is about you reconsidering where do you want to go with your life and how do you want to live, right? Yeah, this is really about manifesting a new beginning, and this feels to me a new beginning when it comes to how I'm seeing myself, how I'm perceiving myself. There's a sense of like renew faith and innocence. Like I'm ready for the new. I want to go and explore. I want to open myself up to new experiences. And so there's a lot of thinking, all right? Okay, what is this new beginning means to me? What is it feels? What does it feel to live life differently, right? So there's a sense of a desire for adventure and for the new. We have the Five of Swords, right? So when we're dealing with the Five of Swords, there's the energy of, sorry, the Three of Swords. I said five. Well, the Three of Swords. So five is all about change, right? This Three of Swords is about feeling conflicted and the need to choose our thoughts, our words, mindfully. This is about I'm taking accountability and responsibility for my choices and decisions, right? The need to have a different perspective. This can be also this Three of Swords about, yeah, relationships, definitely. Having immature perceptions or perspectives of what is to be in a relationship. For some of you, you have clarity about it. For some of you, you have been just repeating cycles and behaviors, and it's all rooted in, the ancestral. So for a lot of you, a lot is going to become very clear about the why you have these cycles of going through like the same things. If you're in a relationship, right, there's going to be a lot of revelations about what is causing all of this harmony. And yes, there's a call here for clear and grounded communication. For some of you, you have to overcome defensiveness. For some of you, you're dealing with that. But Spirit is saying that there's a mirroring, okay, to a degree. Remember, I'm never like fixed when it comes to how I experience life or how I channel, because having Gemini have the capacity or provide me the capacity, and Pisces I can see without having to be fixed. I can sit with you, sit with the other person, and just kind of, just like the fishes. I'm dancing with you, so I understand that nothing is just never black or white. So we don't want to go to extremes. I don't go to extremes. So I just want you to just be in that energy of having the capacity to see reflections and glimpses of, our light, our shadow, our the beauty of us, but also the darkness of us. Okay, the magician, yeah. So just you have the capacity to balance things out. Just you have the capacity to manifest the new beginning. Just you have the capacity to shift your current situation. Once again, the magician is going to say you have to bring yourself into a place to where you're grounded within the elements. So you must be grounded within the elements within you, then act on it, right? And so the magician also is a person who have no problem with embracing the hangman, which means I have the capacity to go within, to practice critical thinking. I have the capacity to place emotions and logic and see the bigger picture of things, right? So when I am in the magician, I can observe my thoughts, I can observe my emotions, I can see my light, I can see my shadow, I can see the perspective of the other person. That. So this is the magician is a lot about mastery of the elements and having the capacity to shift things, because I'm shifting my being, because I have the because I'm open to go with the hangman, to take accountability, to take responsibility. I can communicate clearly, I can practice vulnerability, right? And I'm also deeply connected and rooted with the creator. And so there's a person who is juggling the elements and learning this mastery. And so what happens, right? You manifest. Okay, cool. What else? All right, we're gonna use a different deck now. What would you like these beautiful people to know, be aware of? They just speaking about conscious choice and growth. Okay, I'm hearing, yeah, um, learning to communicate. Okay, for some of you, very important. Overcoming the fear of making mistakes. We have the energy of beginnings, we have the energy of strategy. So once again, right, this is a strategy. I see it and it feels like this energy of the magician. The new beginning is on top of the Ace of Wands, so that's very proper right there. So it is a good time to start acting, on your life. They want you to have freedom, they want you to be childlike, they want you to Yeah, to not be so hard on yourself, and also, yeah, pay attention to your judgment, the judgment upon yourself, and the, your judgment upon others. What they're seeing is like, when dealing with conflict with this Three of Swords, do you have the capacity to recognize where the other person is at on their journey, right? So sometimes we make choices and decisions, the lowers, that the energy of Gemini, to where we can not take into consideration how our choices, our decisions, the things we do affect others and affects the world around us. Okay, we have on the table, and this is about being frank, being honest. What is the truth, right? Are we ready to sit down and say, hey, well, this is the play, this is the part I have been playing in co-creating this situation. Okay, this is the part I'm playing, right? This is about just putting things on the table, being honest. Time for honesty. Drama. Okay, like I said, how do I participate in manifesting and co-creating these kind of situations? Have I become addicted to drama? All right, and this is also about saying goodbye to people who are addicted to drama. Some people justify, and going around and doing all kind of things, and then they just like, oh, whatever, they just gossiping. And so be aware of drama, of you participating in, or people around you. And here comes the energy of relationships. Okay, so relationships are important. Like I said, for some of you, this is a brand new relationship, and you have the opportunity to do things very differently. For some of you, this is really about aligning. We have the energy of commitment, long term. So when looking at things, and I'm gonna say not just in romantic relationship, but in friendships, and when it comes to financial partnerships and all of that, we want to look at long term. We have the energy of opportunity, so doors are opening. We have the energy of offerings, and this is about venerating Mother Earth, right? Venerating our ancient ancestors, and this is also about, offering what is no longer serving you to Mother Earth. We have the energy of protection, being protected against negative energy. We have the energy of freedom, so you're being called to express yourself. Some of you have um, a beautiful throat chakra, and you're being asked to use your gifts and your talents. For some of you, that's going to bring a lot of resources. And once again, if you are manifesting a new beginning related to collaborations, there's a lot of opportunities. It's important to communicate clearly. Be aware that you want to take a look at things from the perspective of long term. And then we have the energy of gestures. Okay, and so this is about being at service, serving the highest good of all, practicing charity. Some of you might be asked for a favor, or someone is going to send you support and help. All right, anything else? No, this is very, very good, very well. All right, you guys, um, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our beloved ancestors and Mother Earth. May you be blessed on your journey. Namaste. um, Please remember to like, to subscribe. Let me know if this resonated. I know my work is very different. I am honored to be here. Please know that. All right. Ciao.